I can't hear you, Mel.
Okay, I bet everybody can hear me now. How about Lloyd? Can I hear you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But now all I got to do is figure out why your camera's not showing up here.
I don't know.
That's interesting. Uh, why is that doing that? Let me see here. Okay, that's my camera stream. That's my camera stream into here. And so this ought to be the dual. Yeah, this is the dual input. So why do I not have you here?
I don't know.
That's
But
really
I see
weird.
you. I
Yeah,
see you. Oh,
there we go.
oh, hold on. Stupid dogs.
Hey, Phantom Hodge
Okay.
Drones, Ron Brown, welcome. Mike B. Hey, everybody that's in the chat so far. Howdy, Lloyd.
Hey, how you doing?
Nothing like a last minute change of plans, right?
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I muted you on my side.
Oh, I'd say nothing like a last minute change of plans, right?
Hey, yeah, exactly. So, but in case you noticed, I was set up and ready to go.
Yeah, I see that. That's pretty snazzy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty snazzy. Uh, and I got nothing. I got a motel
You
room.
got nothing. Yeah. What what uh uh what happened with your change of plans? Hey Drone Shots, hey Jody, how you doing? Mike
Hey,
B,
Jody.
Ron Brown,
Uh,
Rick Halber.
yeah, I decided to drive an extra hour,
Oh, okay. So where are
and th-
you at?
and then by the time I got checked in, I was like, well, crap, I barely got time to turn a computer on. So,
Yeah.
and as you can see, I had something checked over the top of your camera that shouldn't have been. I had this thing right here turned on, and that was making it look
Right.
like your camera wasn't there. So as soon as I
Yeah.
turned that
Yeah.
off, it solved the problem.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. All right.
and of course, I had to add my microphone in again.
Right. Right.
So I made it
Thought you saved
to,
everything last week.
well, I don't know what I'd done, Lloyd. Last week I ran the green screen, if you recall.
Yeah.
Tonight
Oh,
I
that's
didn't have
right.
time
That's
to set
right.
it
Yeah.
all up. So
Yeah. Okay.
this is a different setup.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But you know I left Jim and Elise Crinnan last night, and I drove back up to the interstate and got a hotel right there just
right.
outside of
Right.
Tucson. So I left Tucson about 9:30 this morning, and I'm in
Right.
Pecos, Texas.
Pecos, Texas,
Yeah,
home of Pecos Bill.
I'm under 400 miles, I think, right at 400 to Dallas, maybe less, I don't know,
Okay.
somewhere in there. So
So you'll be here like Wednesday? Or
I haven't. I'm hoping Jerry Calverley comes in to chat tonight because he's not answered a single one of my text messages yet.
yeah. Yes,
Uh,
Art. Just to address Art. Yes, I have electricity and internet. It just oh my God.
yeah, what was it?
It was
Maybe 2 hours ago you texted me and said everything was working again? Maybe
finally,
not even
yeah,
that long.
yeah. No, I think it's been about
Maybe an hour?
uh an hour ago. Yeah. Because I was without power for like 5 or 6 hours today. And then when it came on, my internet went to crap. I got on to Art's show just long enough to say hi, and then it went, and that was it. I was froze.
Oh,
and
really?
and oh yeah, I mean it just locked up, and my internet reset itself. I tried for 2 hours to get it to come back, and it finally came back on. Yeah. So most of the day I've been spent either working on that or doing something along that line. Well, actually, I've done a lot of reading today because when the television doesn't work, the internet doesn't work, you know, and I didn't want to use up all my data on well, I'm unlimited, but still, I didn't want to mess with that. So I just read.
Well, imagine that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I went old school. Well, not completely old school. I did use an iPad, you know. But I've got a library. I could have broke out, paper-bound hardback books.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah, poor Art got stuck doing the show solo. I felt so bad
Well,
because, but
he sent me a Facebook message. He said, "Hey Mel, can you co-host for me in Lloyd's place today?" And I said, "Sure. What time?" He said, "5 minutes."
yeah,
I said, "Art, I'm in the middle of the desert in New Mexico, man. Driving. You know."
well, yeah, and I didn't. It was probably
Poor guy.
it came on. He came on about. He was about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes into the show when I popped on. And I got to say, "Hi, Art."
And that was it, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. That's the way it went.
Well, I cut it so close tonight. To tell you the truth, I forgot it was Sunday.
I figured.
Yeah.
I
And
apologize. I've had.
well, that's probably the way I'll be later on too.
Yeah.
I see my
Well,
brother
hello,
and dad are
Brian,
in. Brian's in.
and
Chris Hope's in.
hello
Hello,
to
Chris.
Backwoods Droners and Chris Hope. Hey, how you doing, buddy? But I got this snazzy T-shirt. I got to show you.
Well, hang on here. Let me get you up there full screen. My
Yeah.
favorite nurse calls me dad. Well, isn't that special?
Yeah, my
That's real
daughter-in-law
nice.
and son made it. They actually made this for me. They just made it this afternoon,
Oh,
and
is that right?
yeah, because he's got a printing press thing, but he hates using. I'm thinking about buying it from him. Say, well, if you're not going to use it, let me use it. But he
Yeah.
does it for other things. But he's got the heat press, and I thought, well, because he also does the vinyl cutouts and stuff. But I don't think he doesn't like doing T-shirts. And I thought, well, shoot, I'll just buy the press from him, and I'll do the T-shirts myself. Then I can put out the T-shirts the way I want them.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
have "Bite Me" written on the back, the way I
Yep.
want it.
Yep. With a big exclamation point. Yeah.
Chris Hope says he's riding out the storms. Yeah, we had storms last night and this morning, and
What do you got for
that's actually
storms,
what threw our
Chris?
power off.
I didn't know you had storms that way. From where I'm at, it's little bitty puffy white clouds in the sky and blue and pretty and warm. It's like 97, 98 degrees, 96 degrees, something like that. But we went
He
back
says he
to
went back to helicopters
from
from
drones.
drones. Maybe he didn't see the video, but he needed more than 400 AGL.
Uh-oh. That sounds to me like 400 feet in the air wasn't enough. Sounds like
Yeah, yeah.
it was ground time. No, I didn't see the
He said he went
video.
back. No, I didn't either. Rain and lightning, he says. Yeah, we had that last night here and this morning. That's what caused our power to pop off. And that's actually what woke me up was a transformer going boom.
So
I wake you up in a heartbeat when that thing.
Has Brian got a helicopter crash video up? Is that what he's
I don't
trying to
know.
say?
I don't know. Let's see what he's got there.
Let's
Let's
go.
go to YouTube.
Let's go
Is
take a
he on
quick
YouTube?
look. Brian?
Let's see.
No, he's not
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Let's see. SmokingDope.com. No, that's not it. It's Smoky
Uh,
Mountain Aerial. That's it. I knew it was something like that.
oh, this is a real
Oh,
helicopter.
oh,
Holy
okay.
hell. It's a Bell Jet Ranger 206B with the DJI Osmo Action flight test.
Oh, it must be nice to have friends that's got choppers that's going to pick you up and take you someplace.
Yeah,
You
no
know.
kidding.
Oh, he took the scenic helicopter tours. Okay, that works.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that what it was? Okay.
yeah. Okay, good. But I can see that would be cool. I would do it in a heartbeat. I've not. Well, I have been on the Bell Jet Ranger, but most of my Bell flying, or most of what I flew on was the Huey.
Yeah, though. Thump, 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 thump.
Yeah, you can't mistake that sound.
Yep, that's right.
That thing has a sound, especially if you're in a jungle area and you hear that thing coming through to pick you up or something like that. Yeah, you know that sound.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
unmistakable.
I've
That
got
thing is a
uh,
workhorse.
I've got some plans to meet up with somebody, and I'm not going to announce it right yet of who it is, but you know who it is, Lloyd. Meet up with somebody
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow afternoon to fly, and
Right.
we're
Okay.
going to an undisclosed lake,
Oh,
and we're going to get some lake footage.
you, you're in Texas, right?
Yep,
Good
I'm
luck
in
finding any damn water in Texas.
I'm in Pecos, Texas, and there ain't a damn bit of water around here.
I was going to say good luck on that one.
Hey,
But
Drum Bum, welcome. I didn't see you sneak in there, bub.
yeah, he just popped in.
Uh, so
Glad to
anyway,
see you
I'm
here.
still doing some research on this. I'm still trying to find a definitive answer because I'm unsure. But I hear tell that with all the new FAA rulings that have come out effective June 1st, that not only are hobby pilots no longer allowed to contact a control tower to gain permission to fly within the TCA area, but they also are not allowed to fly above 400 feet regardless of what they're doing. So if they're photographing a structure that's over 400 feet tall, they can't get to the top of it, according to what I'm hearing. Now, I haven't actually read that myself, so once I find
And
out
I
all the
haven't.
exact data, I will
Yeah, and
pass that on to everybody.
that was my homework assignment, and I didn't get her done.
Nope, you
What can
didn't,
I
did you?
say? Yeah, no,
And you had a whole week.
it's.
Well,
I
since day
did have
before
a whole week.
yesterday,
I was.
anyway.
Well, yeah, when you told me about it like 2 days ago.
Yeah, two or three, something like that.
Yeah, I've slept since then. What can I
Yeah,
say?
me too, a little bit. Man, I gotta tell you,
Yeah,
I was hoping Jim had come on tonight. Maybe he didn't get the
Jim.
notification either.
Oh, Jim
Uh,
Crennan.
yeah. Um, you know, Gilly, Drone Crush, that lives over
Right.
in Colorado Springs, Colorado, sent Jim Crennan a DJI Mavic to Zoom. It had a broken landing gear foot, a cracked landing gear foot, where the antenna is. Actually, there's one in each foot, but apparently somebody tried to fix this one and glue the crack. And when they did, they glued the antenna into the channel inside of the landing gear foot. Hey, Matthew. Um, well, then Jim flew it, and then when he landed it, the foot broke some more or something somehow, but it was just hanging by the antenna wire. So he got a foot and he was hoping to be able to change it, but because the antenna was glued into it, uh, it he couldn't get it apart, so he ended up having to order a whole new arm.
Right.
The
Right.
left, I want to say it was the left front arm, pretty sure. Uh, and he was hesitant to change it. He had a guy because the end of the arm has 7 wires coming out of it. One of them has that little
Right.
bitty cannon plug that plugs onto the circuit board for the antenna to plug into. The other ones had to be soldered, and the ends of the wires coming out of the arm were pre-tinned. Well, a buddy of his said that he was certified micro soldering. I've never heard of that, but I guess you can be a certified welder. I guess you can be a certified solderer. But anyway, he had Jim scared to try and take that apart. And there's Jim as we speak. Looky there. Uh, welcome, Jim. I'm just telling the story about changing the arm on your drone. So,
Oh, he's driving right now. I texted him, so it's
oh,
just to
okay.
let him know you were live in case he didn't get
Uh,
notifications. So,
so I said, well, you got the parts, right? He says, yeah. I said, well, go get that stuff, man. Let's put it together. So we were sitting outside in the shade on a picnic table, on a fold-up table thing, and we he had watched a few videos on how to get the drone apart, so he had a little bit of information ahead of time, just enough to make it what we needed to know. And we got that thing apart. We got the old arm out. We had to take one of the main circuit boards loose to feed the antenna wire out through the casing, and then we had to feed it back through to plug it in, and then we had to
right.
solder all the wires in, and we broke a wire putting it together. We had a wire get pinched in one of the screw holes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so we had to fix that. But we got it all put back together and flew, and that thing flew perfectly. It flew flawlessly. So we had a
Yeah, I
successful
saw some of that.
arm change.
Cool, cool. I'm looking for something like that. Yeah, all right. Yeah, put that up there. Well, yeah, I saw he had some videos up, and that was cool. And that was good that you got to help him with that too.
Yeah, it was fun. We worked
Man,
side by
Mel,
side, and heck, it took all three and four of hands at a couple of different points to hold things and line things up and put it together. It's like,
right, right. Yeah,
man,
yeah,
I guess if you're used to doing it, it's one thing, but here's a couple of guys that's never
right.
had a drone apart before, and we're doing major surgery on one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't even attempt to try something like that. So, yeah,
But yeah, we got it going, and Jim had a big smile on his face. I showed him how to do a couple of the quick shots, the asteroid shot. We did that on his drone after we got it flying again, and so yeah, he was just happy as a, I was gonna say two dick Billy Goat in a room full of, but anyway, he was pretty happy.
he was pretty happy, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you pretty much said it there, Mel.
Art, that's behind me, dude. I'm already east of Colorado, man. I'm in Pecos, Texas. But thanks for the invite.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah,
been
and a
nice if you could
magnifying
have
glass.
gone
You're
up there.
right, Chris. There's a lot of little bitty stuff in there, man. That was crazy. I went looking for my bifocal glasses and couldn't find them in my pickup, so I don't know what happened to them, but
Right, right.
I know I had them with me. Oh, you know what? I bet they're in my shower bag. That's where they're at.
Yeah, probably. It's probably exactly where they're at.
So, yeah, I ran a little over 500 miles today, and tomorrow I'm going to stop in Dallas, and I'm going to go flying at a lake, and I'm liable to get a camera wet, and you know what I'm talking about, but we're not going to say nothing about it yet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
I've got the waterproof housing for my Econ camera, And
Oh, okay. Hello, David Maw.
hello, David. No, I can't do Dad's back surgery. Lamar, Colorado. I know where that's at, but no. Sorry, Art. Uh,
Lamar. I should know where that's at because I've been through it, but I can't. It's been so
it,
long I
I
can't
think it's
remember.
just north of Denver there a little bit. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it just north of Denver, right off of 25? Or is it out?
I
No, it's out 76, I think.
no.
You know what? Don't get
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah,
lying.
yeah, yeah.
I want to say it's
I,
out
I I'd
76
have to look
toward.
it up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
I
haven't been
haven't
through
run
there.
Colorado State in quite a long time, so I'm not. I
Well,
don't remember.
I haven't even. I think it's been 1990 was the last time I was even in Colorado. So
Oh,
you know,
really?
hey, can yeah, yeah, it's been that long. So hey, can you give me just a second? I ran in here to set up and we jumped on so quick. I don't have anything to drink. My voice is getting real dry. So let me run
Well,
in there real quick.
you go ahead and get you something to drink, and then I'm gonna go refill my coffee cup.
All right. I'll be
All
right back.
right. So anyway, we'll take Lloyd off the screen there while he goes and gets him something to drink. Um, so Chris, I believe you said that I was right about that. That um, hobby flyers can no longer fly above 400 feet for any reason. Is that is that what you said? Is that what you confirmed or something? 400 is 400 for a hobbyist. 400 is 400 is 400, huh? That sucks to be a hobbyist, I guess. Sorry, now we're going through the mountains. Kept losing cell phone service. Yeah, are you on that, what is it, 83 or whatever, Jim, that goes down to your house? I lost cell service too going through there a couple times. But you know what they're really doing, everybody? They're trying to get everyone to be 107 that they can. Anybody that, anybody within reason really ought to be 107, or at least an equivalent thereof, so that you know all the rules and regulations and know what you should or shouldn't do. Um, that's how I think about it anyway. Jim Crennan, sorry, we're going through the mountains. Kept losing cell phones. Yeah, that's all right. You said that. Yeah, it's good, Jim. No worries. Uh, so anyway, I got checked into this hotel here. I pulled into a Motel 6 and come to find out it's a super, super 7 in now. It's not even a Motel 6 anymore. They need to change the sign. Walked in the door expecting to pay one price and got hit with another. So it was like, wait a minute now, why is the price so high? And then they told me,
Well, that sucks.
yeah, but it's all right. It was still under $100. Weedman, welcome. Steve Carpenter, hello, sir. Okay, Lloyd, it's my turn. I'm going to go get me a coffee now.
Okay. All right. I will try and cover for you. Uh, Anyways, guys, so what exciting stuff! I missed out on that. He had Mel had told me earlier that he was just going to do his show. He's going to do it live from his drone. So, and just about 2 minutes before he went on, less than 2 minutes, about 30 seconds, I got in here because he sent me a message. Says, "I'm going live on VMix. Need you?" Okay, so here I am. So, I those fathers out there that are there, wish you all a happy Father's Day, and I was glad that you. I hope you had a good one. I had a pretty decent one. Son and daughter-in-law came home and gave me this nifty shirt, plus a really nice coffee mug. It says, "Dad and Chief head of household." Yeah, I believe that. Judy saw that and she says, "I just let him think that." So I'm not really in charge. She just lets me pretend I am. So, anyways, For those of you that didn't get to see his show today, Art was stuck doing the show on his own by himself, which he's done in the past at Art's place, because I don't know, sometime I don't know about 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this morning, my electric went out, and hello, Wiedemann Photography. So, and we've had storms come through, so I was aching like a beat dog, and it's just so I'm dragging because I had to take some pain meds because I was hurting so bad I couldn't hardly move this morning, and so I'm dragging, but what exciting things are going on out there? Let's see. Sorry, Mel, I was going through the mountains and kept losing cell service. Okay,
Yeah, that's all
all
right.
right,
Yep. Uh,
yeah.
I heard you talking
Well,
about.
Steve Carpenter, hello.
You didn't hear me say hi to Steve? You never pay attention to me.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna get me a
I
new
was in the
co-host,
other
one
room
that
getting
pays
my
attention.
drink. You
No, 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 no. You were here when I said hello to Steve. He'd been here for 15 minutes.
okay? So I ignore you. I just,
So
I
now I
mean,
got
you
something to say
talking
about
sort
what
of
you
like
said
you're in the
about
air
Judy.
conditioner running.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What did I say?
I got something
Yeah.
that, and I hope she's listening
Oh,
because
would she
this is
let me pretend
important.
I'm the boss?
Yeah, you see, and as long as you continue letting her think that she's pretending that you're the boss, then as long as you let her think that, then everything will be happy.
Yeah, it's
You
been
know,
working for
we get
almost 38
along
years, so
we get along
yeah,
good as long as we keep letting them think they're the boss.
that's it. Just let them think it, and they
Yep,
and pretend let us think we're the boss. So,
yep,
it's just sort of like that spy versus spy, type situation.
yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
So,
But
and
anyways,
speaking of Father's
yeah,
Day,
you
I
stepped
should
away. I
tell
don't know
my
if you
dad
saw it,
Happy
but
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
yeah,
I know he's listening.
yeah. Actually, they're in here. So, but
So anyway, because I run
oh,
500 miles today, I didn't get much show prep done, so I don't have anything. Okay, Lamar is off of I-70 east of Denver. Now I remember there's a Flying J there in Lamar, actually, or there
yeah,
used to
like you're on
be.
your way over to Kansas.
Yep,
That's what I was thinking.
yep. Really? Just as I'm about
So,
to sip a
man,
coffee.
that
Really? Yeah, I knew there would be more coming. I knew there would be more coming.
yeah. Well, okay. So I'm off my game a little bit. I should have started that about 10 minutes ago, but it's like I was saying. I was hurting so bad last night with the storm front through. Yep. A storm front coming through.
Yeah, say that five
Speak
times real
slowly. You
fast.
don't stutter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I barely got that one out. But, but anyways, I was hurting so bad that I ended up taking extra pain meds I don't normally have to take. And I woke up this morning just dying in pain. Of course, it was thundering and lightning and everything else. Then the electric went off, and that was just frustrating. So, but yeah, you know, you're not too far off from that, Wiedemann, because the other night my wife says, "Well, are you at least recording those ungodly noises you're making over there?" She says, "They sound better than anything you got on that machine of yours. If you're going to make it, she says, at least record them." Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's
Yep.
pretty much, but yeah,
So, um, and that made me forget what I was going to talk about. You know,
that doesn't take much.
yeah, you just wait. You just wait till I get the rest of my equipment back in front of me where I can set up on a big table with 3 monitors and have all my notes and everything right in front of
Yeah,
me. And
yeah.
yeah,
Notes. You're supposed to have notes in front of you? Really?
yeah, the show notes.
No, really?
Yeah, really.
Do, do, does everybody do that?
Yeah, yeah. Ken does it.
Oh,
Greg
really?
does it. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, so that's what the hell's wrong with my show. I wondered what was going on.
Well, you
What's
have
wrong with
show
your show
notes.
then? Because
You have show notes.
no, no, yeah, I typed them up once, sent them out a couple of times, then I threw them away because they weren't working for me. I never followed them.
Well, I haven't had show notes in 6 or 7 weeks because I've been on the road with my laptop, or 8 weeks or more. However long I've been on the
Okay,
road. A couple of weeks
but
before
look
I
at it
went to
this way.
California.
Look at the fantastic.
See, there you go. You go looking at chat and get all sidetracked again.
Yeah, well, it's because I just saw
Drone
my
Bum
name
says
pop.
I'm
He's
too
been on
old.
for 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Say thank you again for yesterday. It was
Cancer.
an amazing day to hang out.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Jim. It was an amazing day. I had a lot of fun. Did did Lise tell you what the next part of the surprise is yet? Where's Lise at? Is she listening? Did she tell you anything yet? I'm kind of curious to know. Just kind of wondering.
But yeah, I do need to apologize to Steve that I did miss him coming into the chat. So, you know,
You don't have to
I
apologize,
every week
Lloyd.
I insult. Well, no, I
You're
always
just
miss
doing your
somebody or
job.
insult somebody on your show.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to do. You're the grumpy one,
yeah,
remember?
I know. Yeah, right, exactly. Boy, yeah,
You know, we're kind of like the grumpy old man, except it's just a grumpy old man.
yeah. I do both parts.
Yeah, boy, I'll say. You do enough for both of us.
Yeah,
You'd have, you
exactly.
if
Yeah,
you'd have been in that movie, they'd only had one guy in it. You know, I
that's
mean,
right. I could have done both parts easily.
yep, yep. But that was a good movie with Walter
Yeah,
Matthau and them. That was a
but
great movie.
but look at the second one though. I would have ended up with Sophie Loren and the Anne Margaret both. I wouldn't have been grumpy anymore
Right,
with both those
right.
two. Yeah, yeah. I would have been a happy old man, you know,
Yep.
instead of a grumpy old man.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I wouldn't. Judy'd kill me. I'd be a
No,
dead
'cause
old man. That's what I'd
that's
be.
just no, that's just TV acting.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, when they do those love scenes, they really got clothes on under them blankets. And when they kiss like old people. You know, they don't use any tongue or nothing. So it's all acting.
Some of them are really good actors then because it looks pretty real. Obviously, I'd be an amateur at it. I'd have to, you know, do it the way most people would do it instead of the way them actors. What's the point of acting if you can't have any fun? I mean, really?
uh, I think. Oh, she just told him. Okay, so now I can say
She
it.
just told.
Okay. Uh, Jim told me that he has worked out that so that he can has his ticket now to spin up this year, and he was trying to get it worked out to get Lisa a ticket. So yesterday, when we had lunch, after lunch she gave me a hug, and so I slipped a little bit of cash in her hip pocket and said, "There's your ticket to spin up." So I bought Lisa. I gave her the money to get a ticket for spin up, and that's what Jim's talking about right now.
Good, good.
So, so
That'll
that's
be
out
good
of
that
the
they're both going to be there.
that's out of the bag now. So Jim, now there's just one more thing coming, and it should be there. Uh, I think it'll be there tomorrow. Uh, well, not no, maybe not. Anyway, there's something coming in the mail for you. You'll like it. So just keep an eye on your P.O. box. And Lloyd, I got some stuff I'm going to give to you too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, when I met up with Steve Carpenter over there in Dana Point,
Uh-huh.
uh, he put me in the brig.
Oh, yeah. He put you in the brig, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or he met
I
me in
know
the
what you're
brig.
talking about. Yeah, the brig, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah, he
went to
met
the
you at the
brig.
brig, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Take care, Drum Bum.
Gotta run, got. It's always good seeing you on here, Paul. He's a hardworking guy. Well, I know you got something for Judy.
I got something for Judy.
Guys, yeah,
Oh,
dirt.
yeah,
Poor
yeah.
Bill stuck with hauling, you know, 2.5 gallons of dirt from Arizona all the way into Oklahoma. Guess Judy wanted authentic desert dirt to grow her friggin' cactus that I keep killing. She says, "Well, get the kind of sand they grow wild out there. They're bound to work." So Mel, being the kind of friend he is, packed her. He uh, found a bucket and put some Arizona dirt to
Well,
bring here to.
actually, Jim took care of all that. But yeah,
Well, Jim, thank you.
I was
Yeah,
dragging all my stuff in the room I let a fly in, and now he's proceeding to bug the hell out of me.
they'll do that. They'll do that. So,
Yeah. Well, let's see
but
here.
yeah, and I will still have my show tomorrow night, barring any complications like no power or internet. They're sending. They called me up. I called them yesterday about the internet. They said, "Well, if we have to send somebody out there and there's nothing wrong, we'll charge you." And I said, "Oh, I'll damn sure make sure they find something wrong. Just send them out here."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a way to find something wrong. But
Sure.
let's get her fixed. I said, you know,
If they look hard
and of
enough,
course
they'll find
after I
something.
got, yeah, and after they got off, I said it's going to go off again, and it had already gone off twice or three times. It ended up going off, I think a total of 7 times yesterday. I was so damn mad I
Oh,
couldn't see
wow.
straight. And oh
Wow.
yeah, and there's no excuse for that. You know, if they gave me the explanation that every time they turn on a repeater from the flooded area, that sends a surge through this and re-trips the whole system, I could accept that. I'll accept that. I'll live with that. But they can't say that because they don't friggin' know what the problem is because they've never gone out to the main trunk line to troubleshoot the problem. You know, they started at my house and worked their way out. They started in the house and worked away, you know. And so I got this big. I actually have my own repeater inside inside my house. It's a signal. It's
Yeah,
a
you have a
signal
range
repeater
extender.
that
Yeah.
sends us. Yeah, it's a range extender.
Yeah.
You know,
It's basically a
wired in.
repeater.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and this is hardwired, so it's all on the cable. It's not Wi-Fi at all. It's just simply that they added to it the last time they were here.
Yeah, he did, Lloyd. He bailed me out of the brig.
He bailed you out of the brig.
Yeah, 'cause I was trying to walk out the door with some stuff, and he went back and paid for it. I was trying to, I was trying to get some
Were you trying
stuff,
to
man.
abscond?
I was trying to get some stuff, man. I was in California. I was trying to get some stuff, stuff.
Like that guy, was it last night? The guy asked if you had any. You got any California?
That was
Like, what a? Or
that
was that
wasn't
night
last night.
before?
Was it last night? Yeah, that was last. No, that wasn't last night.
No, it was
It
night
was the night
before. It
before.
was it was night before. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that first night. Yeah, what an. Oh my God, that guy was a. He was. I mean, I bet if you looked up idiot under in the encyclopedia, you'd see his picture next to it.
Oh, I
Because
don't
I
even
mean,
think you'd have to get the whole word idiot. I think the IDI and it'd be there. He'd have the whole
yeah,
page
yeah,
covered.
yeah. That guy- Well, I heard him talking to you, and then he called me later again and told me what he'd said. It's like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah. Guys,
What a knothead.
I met this guy at the hotel night before last. Before I went to, this was Friday night. And He tried to tell me, now he didn't know anything about me, right? Didn't know me from Adam, but he tried to tell me what drones can do. Tried to tell me and explain to me how interchangeable the cameras are on all of them. He said, "Oh yeah, you can change the
Yep.
cameras on all them drones. You can put different cameras on them,
Yep.
and you can look in people's windows from a mile away and everything else."
Yep.
And then he proceeded to explain to me that you can get some kind of a printer. Now he didn't know what the printer was called for sure, but he said you can get something that'll print stuff, and you feed plastic to it that you can buy 100 pounds of it for like a couple bucks, and you can make a drone and a camera and fly it. And this guy was trying to explain to
Wow.
me how all this is done. And I politely said to him, I said, well, I said, I'm a FAA licensed commercial drone pilot. I'm currently flying drones for a living. I own several. I happen to have two 3D printers. That's what they're called. That's what you're talking about. And filament costs a whole bunch more than a couple of bucks. It's not plastic. It's called filament. And before you go running your mouth trying to tell somebody how something can be done, you ought to get yourself educated, because you just might be talking to somebody that really knows what the hell they're doing. Yeah, that kind of
Plus,
uh,
he asked you if you had any California.
California.
Is that
Yeah,
what it?
yeah. He
Yeah.
wanted to know if I had
Got
any
any? I want
California
that.
with me, and I said, "Do what? What are you talking about?" He said, "Pot, man. Did you
Yeah.
bring any pot?"
I go,
So, so
oh
I
yeah.
used,
I'm
I
just going to
used
tell you
my,
right off.
I used my favorite smartass line, Lloyd, on him. At the end of the night when
What
he
was
went
that?
back to his room, I said,
Uh huh.
I said, people like you that think you know it all make it really extremely difficult for those of us who actually do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
You know,
see.
here's something that's funny.
Did
You
Mel
just
mention
said
I
that,
was
right?
nervous wreck while he was tearing the Zoom apart? Yeah, he was. He was like,
No.
he was
Yeah.
like a, he was like a, I want to say he was acting like a damn nervous woman, for Christ's sakes. But I don't want to get in trouble with the women, you know.
Was he shaking like the proverbial puppy in the peach seed?
Uh, well, yeah, I guess so. But
Yeah.
he kept asking, "Are you sure that's the right way to do it?" And I said, "I don't know, but it's working." I started unscrewing the
Oh.
circuit board to, because when you take the cover off, the top half of the drone, when you finally get all the screws and clips loose that hold that thing together and get the top off,
Right.
the sensors that are on the drone but under the cover have got rubber grommets
Right.
between them and the cover. So guess what happens to all
Uh
those
huh.
rubber grommets when you take the covers off? You ever take
They
a
pop
watch apart
loose.
and have all the springs go boing?
Uh,
Well, yeah, we had
they
rubber
wing.
grommets bouncing all over the damn place. So,
Oh my God.
um, oh, it was,
By the way, Mel,
yeah.
my drone is just fine. Yeah, it's working good. We don't need
Hey,
to work on it.
I'm an authorized disassembler now. We can even get it back together. Just ask Jim, because we did.
Uh, yeah, that's
Uh,
funny. I can imagine he probably was kind of a, bit of a nervous Nancy over that one.
and then, and then we did it outside on a folding table. You know that big white plastic folding table that Ken Herron uses in his videos to set his drones on?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were working
yeah.
on one of those. And
Right, right.
Jim had a, by God, I missed him. Uh, Jim had a,
Well, you chased him over here. Now he's
I,
in my room.
well, good. I said, we're going to want a little bowl or a dish to put parts in, screws and stuff.
Right?
Well, he
Yeah.
had one that's magnetic. So when we drop a screw in the bowl, it didn't mount. It just went thunk and it stayed right where we dropped it. So that was pretty cool. It didn't work so good on the
Oh,
rubber and
it's true.
plastic parts, though. But, uh,
Funny that.
so
I swear to God, you chased that damn fly into my office, Mel. He's buzzing me. How'd you do that?
Well, good. Maybe he'll be gone for a little while. Uh, yeah,
Oh,
they fell
jeez.
out. That's right, Jim. The rubber grommet for the sensor things kept falling out. Lloyd, he says his butt
So how many
cheeks were
extra parts
quivering
were
the
left
whole
over?
time. You know what? I was so disappointed. We didn't even have one single extra screw left over. Not a one.
Not a one. You
Not a
didn't do.
one.
Hey, Jim, if you didn't have parts left over, you did something wrong. So be very careful when you fly that. There should always be extra parts.
Well,
I mean,
we did have
I
extra
thought
parts.
that's.
We had an extra arm
Oh, the ones for.
that was broken,
Ah, okay, all
the
right.
motor arm.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a good time. We had a good
Working
time
on
doing
drone.
that.
Well, yeah, you guys could probably get into the working on drone business, but you'd be taken away from poor old Jeff.
No,
Jeff Sills,
no, Jeff can have it.
no,
No, this was a spur of
he
the
can have
moment.
it.
This was a spur of the moment. Hey, let's get her done, man. Let's get into it, because you know me, I like to tinker and pick stuff. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, no, Jim can have the full-time job. I mean, Jeff.
That was a one-off, was it?
Jeff can have the full-time job.
Jeff can have it.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of speaking of somebody who
Speaking
does
of
use
speaking
a
of
run
speaking
sheet and
speaking of
notes,
one-offs,
yeah, yeah, saws by drone.
click join stream, and the first thing I hear about is farts. I know I'm in the right place.
You know, in the right place.
That's right. There.
Yeah. Don't
Hello,
we all feel
Greg.
better now? How you doing, Greg?
So yeah, Elise took a picture of
You
that
know,
of Jim's Phantom. I mean Jim's Mavic 2 Zoom flying right there in front of us. She took a picture of it and posted it on their Facebook and everything. He was really excited
yeah,
to
I
get that
saw
thing
that one
back in the
pop
air.
up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah. He
excited.
was. He was. Yeah, and good for him. Yeah, good for you, Mel. Good job. But that's what this community is all about. Even though I'm a vlogger, it's still nice being part of the drone community. Uh, you know,
Yeah. He has plenty of
and
band-aids.
someday I might become a droner myself. But until then, I like being associated with you guys.
What a surprise, Greg. Telstra. I thought I had bad internet problems until I started seeing some of the grief you go through. At least mine always worked.
Oh,
It was always there. It just quite often was inadequate to do broadcasting with, but I could always browse and look stuff up and whatever.
right. Yeah, I was talking to my, well, you called me when I was talking to Grant. Well, I'd also been talking to another buddy, Lee, and he works for, I, I don't know what he does. He's a big IT guy, and they've just built a new headquarters over there in Melbourne, and they're moving into it. Now, they've had the order in place, they've had the building, they have been in the process of getting rid of some, other assets and getting ready to move into this 3 days before the employees were supposed to hit the floor running. Telstra still had not brought their fiber optic in. They still had not connected to the building. Now, this is a building that does nothing but do IT work. They have to have an internet line. He said they spend somewhere around $220 million a month with all their businesses to Telstra. So they, his CEO got hold of the CEO of Telstra, and they had the guys there within about 3 hours. And so the guy says, well, and of course he was in charge of the project inside the building. He says, so whatever you need to get this all set up, just let us know. And he says, because we're in contact with the CEO on text. And he says, oh, man, don't tell him that you need, I said you need all that. He says, if we need it, that's what we're going to get. He says, but don't tell him I said it. That's my boss. I don't want him to think I can't do my job without his interference or his help. But so, Greg, I did put in a good word for you. Told him if he knew how to help with your internet problem, to if he knew how to help with your, get people to work on your internet problem. Of course, you talked to somebody the other night too, so maybe we'll get something done between all of us.
Well,
But
I think Greg being
that's
able to go
Telstra.
right there and talk to them to their face is probably going to be the best option.
Right, right. That's the problem. You can't get hold of anybody there.
Well, that's why you
They
just
just,
go knock on the door and say, "Yo, now you're going to take my call 'cause I'm here. I'm calling on you."
yeah, right,
That's what you do.
yeah. There you go, Greg. Just, but yeah, send him you're sending it to him today. Okay, yeah, let them watch it. But that's just sad, you know. It's not Father's Day in Australia.
No. Do they
Do
even
you
have a
get now?
Father's Day?
I was going to say, do they celebrate that there? Because that's pretty much just an American holiday, I think, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was something that the politicians made up so that they could make a holiday on a weekend to take a weekday off for.
Oh, well, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
sounds good, right?
Works for me.
Yeah.
Sounds good, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but
So
oh,
apparently that is the case about the
the
hobby
400-foot
flyers. Yep.
for the
Apparently
hobbyist.
so.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, does a hobbyist really need to be going that much higher? I mean, do I need to be standing next to some big, giant 20, 30-story tall building and flying over the top of it as a hobbyist? Because as hobbyists, we haven't gone through, and this is what I'm saying from a hobbyist, okay? I don't see the point of doing that. If you,
Don't read chat in the middle of a sentence,
no,
Lloyd.
he
Come on now.
didn't. Yeah, okay. But no, he did not, Steve. But anyways, as a hobbyist, I can't see that I have the need to take a picture of, say, from 400 foot above the Empire State Building. You know, I just, and besides, I couldn't anyways because I'm pretty sure that's controlled airspace. Ever since 9/11, they pretty well put some of those buildings off limits. Period.
Well, not only that, but
So,
there's a 15-mile no-fly zone around D.C., so you couldn't even get to the Empire State Building. Oh, that's in New York.
yeah. Don't read the chat when you're trying to have a conversation, Mel.
Yeah,
I
okay.
saw what you were doing.
Take my own advice, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Give me crap, will you?
Oh my
But no,
God.
seriously. If you're going to do that kind of, if you're going to be flying around buildings like that, you need to know that kind of the stuff that comes with being Part 107 or having your commercial license. Because I can see no reason for, maybe if my son was the CEO and owned that building, I might want to take a picture of it. But none of my family's that well off, so I don't think I'll ever be in that situation. And 90% of the true hobbyists, you know, they don't need to go over 400 feet. If you want to take a picture of the top of a mountain that's above 400 feet, climb the damn mountain and take a picture up there. It's just my thought as a
Yeah,
hobbyist.
but I mean, I can see times where if you're out in the country somewhere, like like uh
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Chris said, out in Class
Like up
G,
in,
that it doesn't matter. There's no reason they
right,
shouldn't be
right.
able to go above 400 feet to get a shot of an interesting big old rock or something, that's on top of a
Well,
hill. I mean,
You're right. You're right. I guess, yeah,
and
think about that. But
if
hell, I
they
barely
take
go over
off at
100
valley
feet.
level, and the hill is 600 feet tall, and there's a 200-foot rock on top of it that's been eroded by the weather and wind and rain and weather like wind and
Right,
rain,
right,
and
right.
you
Yeah,
know it looks interesting. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to go up there and take a
yeah.
picture of that.
Okay.
But
That's true too.
so I don't
Well,
know.
I think what their purpose is solely just so we'll all get Part 107 certified. And, you know, the
That's what
reality
I
of it
think.
is some of these drones, you really need to be Part 107 to fly. I mean, I, as a hobbyist, could go out and buy an Inspire,
Well,
you know,
it's just like Sarah
but
said last
I
night.
don't,
Sarah, is it Sarah? Sally. Just like Sally said last night. You don't need to be a professional to buy a big drone. And the bigger the drone, the more dangerous it is. So you should
yeah,
be
yeah,
educated.
right, right. Of course, with me, I'm kind of the odd duck because I know so many that are Part 107 and I discuss with you all the time. So I keep myself, and because I have so many drone people that follow me, I kind of have to keep on top of it. Even though I'm just a hobbyist, I still have to, be aware of that stuff. And so, yeah, but it doesn't, and even something like a spark could hurt somebody if it's not, if you
Well,
don't pay
sure,
attention to what you're
if
doing,
if
you
it,
know.
if you crash directly into their face or something, it really could hurt somebody.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the
And that's something that probably kids without their parents shouldn't be flying, you know.
True. And
Be
no,
honest with
Greg,
you, I've
we're
got an
not going to
18-year-old
come to the
grandson that I
outback.
wouldn't trust.
Yeah, I understand that too, Lloyd. And then there's other people that are over cautious, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
and like Chris Hope said, it's starting to look like it's about money, like because it's
it is.
300 $150 to take the test, the 107 test.
Hmm.
And if you use a study course like, remote pilot or something, and you don't use the, what is it,
Right.
Heron 19 or whatever discount code,
You're right.
um, you pay 125 or $50 for that. I know when I did it, it was $150. So my 107 license actually cost me $300 to get it. And
Right. Right.
the thing of it, you kind of want to say it sounds like it's about money, but then on the other hand, it's like, let's say there's 100,000 107 pilots at $300 each. That's $300,000. To you or me, that's a pretty
Yeah.
good chunk of change. To the money that the
Right.
government goes through and uses, that's
Yeah. It's a drop in the bucket.
ridiculously immaterial. So, on one hand, I can say,
Well,
yeah, I can see where it would kind of be about the money, but on the other hand, in the grand scheme, big picture, it's such a small amount of money to the government that it doesn't matter.
and obviously, you know, having that extra money coming in hasn't helped them improve their website or their little cartoons that they put out that
Yeah,
Ken
right.
likes to show with Sparky or whoever that is. You'd think with 300,000, you know, $300,000 they could at least make a decent cartoon.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Make it interesting. Well, at least the was it Center for Disease Control. Uh, they started the whole zombie apocalypse thing, so that was fun, for a few
Mm-hmm.
years,
Mm-hmm.
because they're the ones who started that whole thing, just so they could get people aware of how to prepare for a natural disaster. That's what that was really all about. But they started it, and it became a movement. Everybody talked about it. Well, if the FAA spent some of that money they're getting from our licenses to invest, because all of their money is coming from the the airports, the airline industries, the different commercial airlines, the pilots for getting all the pilots around the world that's getting there, here in the United States are getting there. Pardon me. So our piddling little amount really doesn't amount to anything. The least they could do It's reinvested in a little bit more, I don't know, well thought out educational system than what they've got. I mean, as far as their advertisement and stuff, make it
Yeah,
entertaining.
yeah.
But
Doc
yeah, but
Murdoch
yeah, it
says he
is.
just bought an Exomi
Xiaomi Mi
Zomi
4K camera. Yeah,
with a vertical
Xiaomi,
limit of 1,600 feet from the takeoff point, which would allow you to
which would
fly
allow
up and
you to
around a
fly
mountain or a
up
structure.
and around the mountain structure.
Oh, it's not the
Well,
incompatibility
having
of the
it,
drone; it's the legal ceiling.
it's the yes, the
I
legal
mean, I've
ceiling.
I've got I've got drones that'll go 10. Well, let's see, Lloyd. We had mine at 3.5 miles. That's 15, 17,500 feet, give or take, away.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
means it would go 17,000 feet up in theory if the propellers could catch enough air at that altitude to maintain flight.
right,
Um,
right.
uh, so it's not the capabilities of the drone; it's the airspace limits.
It's the yeah, and the limits that we were just talking about has nothing more than to do with what they've done with the new FAA rules and as it relates to hobbyists. You
Right.
know,
And see, I
you can,
think
if you're Part
they're
107, you can still,
yeah, but they're talking in chat about the money and the safety. The safety being a good thing. But why? Who determined it should cost $150 to take the exam with the FAA? Who determined that? A 17-year-old kid can legally register his own drone on the FAA website because the age limit is 16. So a 17-year-old kid can get a drone for Christmas from his parents or grandma or friend or whatever, and he can register it, but he can't go take the FAA test because it costs $150. If it was truly about
right.
safety, the test would be 25 bucks or something, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Well, I think what they're trying to do is because here's the way I think they're,
But
and I'm
and they're
just,
talking about,
this is
they're
all
right. It doesn't
guesswork.
teach you how to fly. It teaches you how to be safe.
Yeah. And I think what they're trying to do is put drone pilots on the same level as fixed wing manned aircraft pilots, okay? And or rotor winged, either one, but manned aircraft. They're trying to make the UAS pilots on the same level because we're FAA certified pilots, and those of us that have the Part 107, or those of you that have Part 107, you're FAA certified, okay, licensed, and that's good. But to be honest with you, I would bet that a show of hands here, how many of y'all that's in the chat right now
Oh no,
could get a
Doc, the
plane
cost is
off the ground?
the doc the cost to get your FAA certificate to fly single engine land aircraft, manned aircraft, is way more than $150. Way more.
Well, and I think that's kind of what I was hitting at. They're trying to keep us, all right, if it costs you $1,500 to take a test to get your manned aircraft pilot's license, okay? Well, you take comparative size, the size of
Oh wait, I
let's
may
say,
have
an
misunderstood. It may be
Inspire.
the same cost to take the FAA written exam, $150. That could be true. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's it. They're trying to put us on the same level. But the difference is we're not the same. We're not the same type of pilots.
No, we're not.
You know, but
And
we do need to know airspace simply because we don't need to be getting in the way of aircraft.
you know what?
That's what that comes down to. But
I'm gonna disagree with that though. And I'll back that up with my self-thought logic
sure,
here in just a minute. But I want to address
okay,
something that Chris Hope said. I said learning the rules makes you a safer pilot. That's not true. And I compared that to my driver's license, my Class A in California when I was when they changed over to the CDL. Supposedly that CDL was supposed to make me a safer driver. The type of piece of paper in my wallet had absolutely nothing to do with the safety of my driving. It just cost me more
Right,
money to
right.
get it. Okay?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, Chris, you're absolutely spot on. It does not make you safer, but it does teach you the rules. And if you apply the rules, you would in turn then be safer. Um, and the other thing is about um, the licensing.
Doc
You
Murdoch
don't,
said to do his part 61 cost 151,
yeah,
150,
for the exam, but it also
and
costs
then
300 just
$300
to
for the
take the
check.
check ride. Okay,
Right, right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that money mostly went to the certified flight instructor that did your check ride for you, though, right? Um, so anyway, I don't believe that you need to know all the airspace differences, all the different everything. I don't believe you need to know that as a drone pilot. I just don't. And the reason I say that is they can do geofencing to prevent you from flying near an airport. They can make that geofence be 1 mile or 50 miles. They can make it whatever they want. Okay? A drone pilot does not need to know how to read all the complexities on a aviation chart because we've got apps. The people
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah.
do that have made apps, and I just looked at one for this lake I want to fly at tomorrow. The lake is legal. On the other side of the lake, there's a TCA where Air Maps showed me that it was a 200-foot ceiling in that TCA area. So I can fly my drone over there as a 107 pilot as long as I stay under 200 feet. The app told me that. I didn't look at a chart to see that. That information right
Right,
there is
right.
not going to be on a chart. In fact, that
Oh,
information
no,
is not
no,
on a chart. So why do I need to know how to read a chart? I don't.
no,
As
no.
long as I
You
use the
misunderstood
proper
what I was
tools.
saying. We need to know about the classifications of airspace.
No, we don't.
The kid that just, well, we need to know, well, our apps are going to, but we need to know we can fly in Class G airspace. We don't know have to know how to read charts. We don't need to know what the runway heading is for such and such going into Tampa International. But we do need to know that, hey, that's not Class G airspace, and we shouldn't be flying there. What we need to know is, unless, as a hobbyist, I'm saying as a hobbyist, not as a Part 107, but
Even
even
as
as a
a
Part
hobbyist,
107,
if you
yeah,
use the apps
if
that
you use
show
the app,
you where you can fly and where you can't fly, that's all you need. You don't need to know that that's Class B airspace over there next to you, and where you're at is Class G. You don't need to know that. It doesn't matter. As long as you follow
well, it doesn't,
the apps are
right?
accurate, and you stay out of those blue zones and red zones and yellow zones on the app, you're golden. It's that simple.
Well, yeah, I think maybe I'm looking at from my point is that you're right. We don't have to know that that's a class whatever. It isn't necessary because the app will tell us. But it'd be nice. I think it behooves all of us to at least be able to look at that app and someone says, "Well, are you flying in the proper airspace?" Yeah, I'm in a Class G. I can fly here. It says so on this app. You know,
Right.
but
Now, Doc
well, how do you
Murdoch,
know that app's accurate?
how do you know the chart's accurate? Doc Murdoch,
Well, that's true.
I'm gonna clarify what I'm talking about. The floor and ceiling for TCA is labeled on a chart. There is nothing labeled on a chart, on an aeronautical chart, about how high or how low you have to stay with a drone. Nothing. It's airspace labeling. The Class B next to the airport comes from ground to 2,500 feet. 2 miles out, it goes from 2,500 feet to 4,000 feet, whatever. The upside down cake, right? So
Right.
that's for aircraft. The
But y-
drone stuff can be done so much more simply. So much more simply. The government's involved with it, therefore it is complicated. And that's just a fact.
that's true.
You know?
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
I mean, if the if the government wasn't so deeply involved in it and just said, look, somebody build an app that we'll approve that is accurate and maintained on a quarterly basis of to show these drone pilots where they can fly and where they can't, and make it so that you can't take off with your drone until you punched your identification number into the app or something. I mean, it can be done really simply. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
complicated as it is.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, it could be so much simpler. I was just saying that, it doesn't hurt for us to, as a drone pilot, to know that what airspace we are flying in, just in case somebody comes up to you and says, "Well, do you know what airspace?" Yeah, no, I'm in the green spot here on this app. Well, what the hell's that mean? Some local cop that doesn't even know, you know, how a drone works, although more and more are becoming aware of it. But, just so you can say, well, this means here's the rules. It says I can fly into Class G airspace. I'm inside that green zone. That's Class G. Okay? We're good? Good. All right. That's the only reason I say we need to know that stuff.
Well,
Because, it's not just about our ease, it's about the public's ease of us flying, and we need to have at least a bare minimum. We don't need to know how to use them friggin' charts, because to be honest with you, I've been flight simming for 22 years and I still can't read a friggin' chart.
and I'll tell you something else. You know how many times I've
Not
actually
well.
got you know how many times I've actually got a chart out and looked at it?
Probably never.
Nope, that's not true. But since I got my 107 and became aware of all the rules and regulations that I should be following to fly
Right.
safely and correctly, I looked at a chart one time, and it was for
Right.
Oceanside, California, because I wanted to fly at Oceanside Harbor, which borders
Right.
Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, MCRD Pendleton. Okay?
Right.
I
Right.
mean, literally borders it. You can stand on one side of the harbor, on the Oceanside side of the harbor, and look across the marina. Up the hill is a chain link fence. Beyond the fence is housing. That's base housing. Okay? I mean, it literally
Yeah.
borders the
Yeah.
marina. So I studied and studied and studied the chart, and even then I wasn't sure that I could fly there. So I
Right.
sent the coordinates to Remote Pilot 101 and said, hey, I've studied the charts and everything, all the data. I believe I can fly here. Do you agree or disagree? Couple 3 days later, they sent me back an email. They said, yep, we looked it all over. You're perfectly good to go. You know, so
Right.
my dad owned an airplane when I was a kid. I studied charts. I was getting my pilot's license when I was a young guy. I've studied charts. I used to be able to pick up
Yeah.
a chart
Yeah.
and read every bit of information on it. Um, I am not unfamiliar with it. You asked a question earlier. I don't know how many guys in chat could actually do it, but I actually could get in a Cherokee or a Cessna single engine airplane, take off, fly, and land at some other airport anywhere in the country I wanted to go to. I could
Well,
get that
that's
done.
why I said in the chart, because I knew that, and I'm sure there's
But
some in here that can,
and,
but
and
for the
and
most
I
part,
agree there probably
you
is,
know,
but for the most part, most of them probably aren't that familiar with the
probably
charts,
couldn't. Yeah.
or probably couldn't
Well,
actually fly the airplane. I mean, I know how to do a pre-trip on an airplane. I know how to fuel it. I know how to check the oil. The six-cylinder opposing cylinder Lycoming engines for the small airplanes, Cessnas and Cherokees and things, run on
yeah.
magnetos. That's what gives you the spark.
Right.
And there's two.
Yeah.
There's an A and a B, and when you're flying, you fly on both. Just so that they're both working.
Right.
So you have backup systems. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you need to know to fly an airplane. Um,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
impossible to learn. It's not that difficult to learn. You got to study
No,
it.
I
You
was
got to
just
work
saying,
at it.
right. But that's what I was saying. I think that's kind of what I was leading to is, you know, it doesn't hurt for us to know what the airspace is. It doesn't mean we have to know it based on how a chart is written. We at least, all right, rules say we can't fly as a hobbyist, can't fly anything but Class G. Okay, how do I know I'm flying a Class G? Because the app says so? I need to know that. But, we need to have, and there again, if they'd make an app that was certified by the FAA, I think, that would be the end of that. We'd do away with half this crap.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. We could do
You
away
know,
with half of it.
it's silliness. But yeah, $150. I was thinking, like Doc Murdoch says, I was thinking pretty much that that's what the written test for a manned aircraft pilot's
Hmm.
license was, which is not right
No,
because
it's
what we're
not.
doing is for it should
It
like you
should be
said,
like $25
if you
for
go
us.
$25, yeah, exactly,
Because,
and it should,
I mean, I didn't really have to. I was able to spend the money when I wanted to make my appointment for my test. But, $150 at certain times in my budget's a lot of money. I'd have to budget for that if I was, you know,
mm-hmm,
and so,
it is for me too.
and I can just imagine a 17-year-old kid, trying to save up $150 so he can go take his written test. I mean,
Well,
that's ridiculous.
well, and like Chris Hope says, that's if you pass it, you're only out 150. If you don't pass it, you're
Out another 150 to
out
take it
another
again.
another 150. Yeah,
And
yeah. It's
like Steve Carpenter says, you know, weather questions. Do we really need to know all about the weather just to fly a drone? I mean, really? It's clear and blue. Okay, we can fly. Oh, it's foggy. We can only see a half mile. Well, we better not fly.
yeah. I mean,
I
or
mean, they
it's
got a
pouring
rule
down
of
rain. I'm
three
not taking
three
my drone
nautical
out.
miles. You got to be able to three
Yeah,
nautical mile visibility. I don't know.
and how the hell do you measure nautical miles when you're standing there and you're just looking? Oh, yep, that looks like 3 to me. Okay, we're good to go. What the hell's a
That's funny.
nautical mile? I drive on the land. What's regular miles compared to nauticals? If I was on the ocean, I'd be driving nautical miles. And why is it called nautical miles when it's in the air? Nautical refers to the ocean. What? They just
No,
confuse shit,
it's
stuff.
nautical doesn't
Sorry,
always refer to the ocean. Nautical
I
is
know that.
just a navigation method.
It's a navigation. Mel, I know that.
I mean, aircraft airspeed is measured in knots, just the same as
Yes,
boat
I know
ground
that,
speed is
Mel.
measured.
I've
I'm
been in a
picking on you,
couple of
Lloyd.
them.
I'm picking on you, Lloyd.
I know, I know. Well, you knew I was just, aggravating. But it's still, really, think about it. You know, why don't they say we're flying 500 miles an hour instead 500 knots? Really? You know, 500 knotheads are out there pedaling as fast as they can to make us go that fast? I don't know. Is that where they got it from?
Yeah. And if you and Rick brought up a good point. If you use the remotepilot101.com study course and pass all their exams and take the test and fail it, they'll pay for you to retake the test. But
There's, yeah. I mean, obviously, in spite of, the fact that they're the sponsor of Ken Herron, Remote Pilot 101 is the place to go to get your learning done. But there's a lot of people out there that took it without I'm sitting there thinking, how did Ken Dono and Billy Kyle do theirs? I mean, it's like
They
they like
watched
watched it.
they
They
watched
watched
the
that other
photo
couple.
people. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll think of their names in a minute, or
it's a
somebody in
husband and
chat will
wife team.
remember.
Yeah,
Um, but I did my own decision. I did some research on different available online courses, and
right.
Remote Pilot 101 was the only one. When they charged you that $150, it was a lifetime membership. So
Yeah,
when I go to
yeah.
renew, I can go back to Remote Pilot 101, log in, and renew all the study material. Anybody else, I'd have had to pay another fee to log in again and do the study material.
Right.
So that's the
Here's a
reason I
question.
chose Remote Pilot 101.
You said it's a lifetime subscription to it, right? You're one
Yep,
time
yep.
lifetime, right? Whose? Yours or theirs? What if they go bankrupt? Then you're out that $150 because you swore to God it was going to be a lifetime, and they only lasted another 4 years. You know,
Well, if they
got
last
ripped
another
off.
4 years and you got to do it every 2 years, then you get two more chances, so you still get your money's worth. But
I
yeah, I
had to
get the
ask.
lifetime warranty thing. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not ridiculous because you're right. It's whose lifetime? Oh,
Oh, we're getting
why
too
me?
serious, man. Hey, you know,
Uh,
I was sitting in there, kick back, relaxing, going to read a book or something, because you said I was going to watch you on an iPad, and you know, I'm going to do this for my drone. I got on here like 23 seconds before the timer went off
uh,
because you said, "Oh, I'm going to do it VMix." So you invited me, so you just better suck it up, Buttercup. You're stuck with me.
Actually, what I said was change of plans. I'm going live with vMix. I didn't say you had to
Yeah,
be here, so don't make me out the bad guy
no,
here.
but wait a minute,
Nice,
wait a
no,
minute. Let's
but what?
clarify
But
this. All right, just a second here. Let me. There's a number here. Somebody sent me a number. Where the hell is that?
a
A
number?
number right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It said how I was supposed to log in. So, yeah.
Oh well,
Okay.
I wanted to make sure you had the password in case you wanted to. Just.
In case I wanted to come in. Yeah, right. Okay.
And Bob, I disagree. They may come up with a hobbyist test. In fact, they probably will. Um, but it's not gonna you're not gonna have to go to an FAA exam center and pay money to take that test, I'm sure, as a hobbyist. Um, it's gonna be
From
a
what little
basic
bit I've.
knowledge test. It's gonna be
Yeah.
kind of like the test was in the app when you fire the app up for the first time.
Right. That's what I was thinking it's going to be. And so what? I mean, wouldn't hurt. You know, it wouldn't hurt to refresh yourself on that, and because I mean, let's put it to you this way: we really shouldn't have guys sitting around saying, "Here, hold my beer. Watch this." You know, that's not
Okay.
part of the FAA test. Okay,
Well, isn't
so
that
it
special?
doesn't hurt that we have to. It doesn't hurt that we have to, you know, spend a little bit of time studying something.
Yeah,
Okay, Mel,
I agree. It's all good.
I need
You know.
to jump over and take care of Judy real quick. She's contacted me, so
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right.
So
Sounds
you can
good.
talk to them, but I'm going to put my.
Well, I'll just go here and go here, and I was trying to figure out how to turn on some more lights. I flipped the light switch and nothing happened. So I guess I'm running. Now that light behind me is even worse, isn't it? That light came on, but it didn't turn on the light I expected it to turn on. So anyway, that's kind of goofy. But yeah, so I agree, Jim. I think it's a fantastic study course. Steve, I said that a few minutes ago. I said airspeed is measured in knots. Uh, I'm catching up with chat here. And you're right, Rick. Some people don't test as well as others. Some people can study till they're blue in the face, and yet uh, there's no there's no good way for them to actually test because they don't test well. But it everybody's different. It's kind of strange how that works out for some. Thank you, Bob, for all your input. I enjoyed your participation and I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in tonight. It's a pleasure when people can talk about stuff that they actually know what they're talking about. That's really cool. Thank you. Hey, Angela, I remember that. I remember when you got ready to take your test, you were scared to death. Yeah, Doc, I'm running in the dark. That's right. Well, turning that light on behind me didn't help matters any. I thought I'd get a light on. There's a big light in the ceiling here, but it didn't come on when I turned on the light switch, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't guess it matters much. It is what it is. But anyway, as soon as Lloyd gets back, we're gonna, now how did that, boy, that's kind of weird. As soon as Lloyd gets back, we're gonna take, what happens here? Oh, that's not good. Um, yeah, as soon as Lloyd gets back, we're gonna do something, pull the plug, I think. We've been here quite a while now. Boy, we've been here an hour and a half. Brian's still hanging out. I thought he left a little bit ago. Oh well. And it looks like we got Lloyd back, so we're going to merge this back over here and bring Lloyd back in.
All right, there we go. Now, aren't we better? Did you unmute me?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, good. All right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
All right.
Steve Carpenter, I
All
think, is
right, I'm
taking
back.
off. And, you know, we've been
All right.
an hour and a half, Lloyd, so.
Yeah, I just noticed that when I was coming back in. I thought, well, it started out a little slow on the uptake, but we started really
Yeah, the
getting going there. Had some good
last
good
45
discussions.
minutes or so, it's been really good, really good, really good. Yep. So, with that, let's just pull the plug, Lloyd. Let's say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, and
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day to
call it
everybody
a
out there,
night.
all the fathers. And thanks for having me, Mel, and
Well,
putting up
thanks
with
for
my
coming in,
silliness.
even though it was a change of plans last minute. Yeah. Anyway.
That just throws you off your game when I do that, doesn't it? It just,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to start
I
watching
just
closer, and when
loved
you
it.
start looking to the left for those buttons, I'm just going to mute your mic.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Mel, thanks for putting up with my shenanigans.
Well,
And
of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's part of who you are, brother.
hopefully you'll be on my show tomorrow night.
Um, let's see, I'm going to be in. Yeah, I
Depends
should be.
where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be busy tomorrow night.
Because you're back in Central Time now. Yeah,
I
you're back in
am.
Central Time.
I am back in Central Time. I just crossed the time zone change here about 100 miles back on the highway. So I've got a date tomorrow night, and
Okay.
I don't know how late I'm going to be. I don't know, but I will be in touch. How's that?
You let me know. So
I
if
will.
anybody out there needs to, I will put several people on notice to be on standby. So
Yeah, Lloyd
just in
might need a
case.
co-host tomorrow
But
night.
yeah,
Depends on how long
as
I'm
old
tied
as
up.
Mel is, it probably won't be a long date.
No, no, no. Most people get tired of me pretty quickly. But anyway. All right, everybody. Lloyd,
Okay,
thank you.
my friend.
I'm
You're
gonna
welcome. Anytime, my friend.
I'm gonna let the chat timer run for a few minutes, and uh, well, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I know I got it here somewhere. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Restart. Yep, that's the one. Okay. Um, I'm gonna switch this over and let it run and leave chat up for a few minutes, and I'm gonna turn the microphones off. So, Lloyd, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Catch you later, my friend.
Bye.
Can't hear you, Mel.
Oh, I guess I'll start over then. Thanks, Lloyd. I was just saying thanks everyone for coming in and watching the show and being part of it and being engaged and talking about everything. It was really cool. I really appreciate it. We had a really good show tonight. And with that, I'm going to reach over here behind the table and pull the plug on this thing. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you again. Lloyd, thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Lloyd.
Anytime. Yep. Good night.